Welcome everybody to the QSL. It is Panda Bear Ash and the legendary, uh, the person who I look up to the most, Spooky Mars.
Oh, I thought you were looking down for a minute there. Hey, Fanta, how you doing tonight? Looking like a pretty exciting match here tonight. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this is the first match of this new QSL season.
I believe it is, and funnily enough, it is a definite night of news. This is the new division of amateurs and two new orgs. So I'm quite excited for this as it is the Frost Pups versus the Adelies.
And already we see some familiar faces on both sides here as we head into this first round of picks and bans. Nothing too shocking coming out from these bands, but just take a look at these rosters. You can already see this is going to be a very, very interesting game so far. You got Jeering Lamb, Kansas was taking Killjoy, and Raptor all on the side of the Frost Pups. Meanwhile, you take a look over on the Adalies, and well, Panda Bear, is that you in angry mode?
Like second cousin in angry
I
mode.
cousin.
Like it's not me, right? Um, but it very very close to me. Like I believe there's this really confusing family tree. I'll show it to you sometime, but it's really really confusing. It it's I barely understand it, and I'm the one who made it. So
Honestly, when it came
you
to
know.
Panda Bears, I was expecting like a family bamboo shoot. I thought it'd be pretty easy to follow. But after these first waves of bans, already we see that Cthulhu locked in here, Panda. And this is definitely one of the highest priority picks in the meta right now. I mean, it's a little bit surprising to me that the Cthulhu does get through because you take a look at these bans. Nike was banned away. Odin was banned away. Those are the other top solos. So with those both taken off the board and Artio taken off the board, Cthulhu just kind of gets to run free. This is a very, very strong block in for Cthulhu, but this is a great response. That was something I was concerned about was the Morgan. If they had not picked it up here, it could have been very dangerous, but taking that away is a very smart move to try to make sure the Frost Pups don't get the double Cthulhu power, right? Limit what they can do, and the Achilles counter pick also super great with that execute.
Yeah, the really nice thing though is with the Cthulhu, it is a hard counter to Oleron. There's no need to ban Oleron for the Frost Pups now. It's Cthulhu just has your ult is invalidated now. And it looks really nice, and we are seeing the Oler and Ymir being picked. Now, Oler saw a bit of falling when these mage ADCs came into presence because of damage mitigations. It hurts him really, really badly. But now there's really only one mage ADC who takes advantage of it, and that's Kronos. So, unless the ADC of Adelie's wants to pick Kronos, it looks like this Oler is going to have a pretty decent lane. Is he still one of the top hunters?
Yeah, this was a very, very smart draft from the Frost Pups. Ymir and Uller kind of screams duo lane aggression. Kronos, as a mage ADC, does not really like early game aggression. He doesn't want to deal with that. He kind of crumbles to it very easily. But the Ymir pickup was kind of a double whammy for the Frost Pups because one of the main reasons you don't want to face Odin when you're locking Cthulhu is because of the walls he puts up. It counters Cthulhu very nicely because he cannot get through them. He can't really do anything but try to take the long way around. Taking this Ymir off the board away from Adelie's means that they control that wall now. Now Kamazats can put this wall down to trap the enemy team in with his Cthulhu rather than walling Cthulhu away from the enemy team. Very smart pickup.
Yeah, I agree. Now, there's some interesting bans. We do see the Thanatos being banned. That's in the prospects I did see of Yo-Yo. I didn't see him playing it too much. I could be wrong. Of course, in these prospects, he looked insanely great. And an interest Killjoy. I know Killjoy, and Scotty is
It's Uller mid. Oh yeah.
that's an Uber mid, and Scotty is just his child. Might as well be his child. Now, Quan.
This draft
That's
is beautiful from
this
the
is
Frost Pups right now. Okay, maybe not super beautiful. Okay, the Scotty, yes, Killjoy loves the Scotty. It's a great comfort pick for him. It still looked a little bit weird in the
Mhm.
draft, right? Scotty's still
Yep.
kind of weird. But
Yep.
the Ao Kwang pickup here is massive for the Frost Pups. Why does Adelie ban Thanatos? It's because they don't want to deal with an execute that counters the Khepri ultimate. Well, unfortunately, Ao Kwang right now is in a pretty good spot because of the Stone of Fall buffs. He utilizes the item very well, and he also has an execute. This is a huge counter pick into what Adelie is trying to do right now.
Yeah, and a bit of a counter in itself is Bologna, as that is two people who are definitely going to be auto attacking in Killjoy and Yo-Yo tap out on their picks. So being able to disable that feels really, really nice. But it does begin to feel interesting into this Cthulhu because the Cthulhu Bologna matchup, at least in my experience, isn't that good for Bologna. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna ult him? Well, he's just gonna ult back, and now he's in a much better position than you will ever be. And you don't have much kill power because what are you gonna do to follow him up? Your short shield dash, or you have to expend that ult. And once again, he's just gonna ult right back, and this Bologna is gonna have a hard time into this Cthulhu. And these drafts are, as you said, both great drafts, but this draft from Frost Pups is insane. It's just
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
wondering
very
how they
insane.
got it. I mean,
Just smart drafting, honestly.
yeah,
Smart picks, smart bans. You take the top priority pick in your top three. The Cthulhu was probably the best option on the table at that point. So
mhm,
if your first pick, you definitely have to grab it. But I also say that Adelaide has kind of outdrafted themselves as well. Rather, they could have banned a little bit more tactically, I think. Maybe not ban the Odin away, since they have those options up. But really, I think they were kind of put in that corner when Frost Pups did ban the Nike. I think that's what really kind of threw Adelia's for there.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I would have been confused in that. I wouldn't have just that. It would have really, really confused me there. And it's just that is a great, just great band phase for Frostpunk. They played it so smartly, and kudos to them 100% of the time.
But now, look at the drafts. I am a little bit concerned for Adelaide, right? I see their team draft, but I don't see the full game plan just yet, right? Feels like they're kind of pick oriented with the Achilles and the Morgan. But then you look at the rest of the draft, the Bologna and the Khepri, and that really, those two picks kind of shine in the team fights. It makes you think maybe they're looking for those. It's a lot easier to tell what the Frost Pups want to do, right? They've got the Ymir, they've got the Cthulhu. They're looking for aggression. They want to be the engagers. They want to find those picks and really take the rest of the fight. Killjoy and Scotty is all in. He's looking to take the fight and keep going with it. I'm concerned about how Adelais is going to respond to that and if they can play around it effectively.
Yeah, I'm also concerned about that as it's just it's rough. And a neat little thing, just for me because I like pointing this out. But Frost Pups do have three North's gods, and I just like that aesthetic. It's just nice to me. Yeah, it's just
Three Norse gods, a squid, and a dragon coming at you from the order side of the map. What you gonna do about it? But yeah, I mean, they're looking really good here.
yeah. Great pressure on that wave. I mean, that's what you expect out of Cthulhu, Scotty. They get just a necessary free wave. And Raging Panda Bear is able to clear jungle a tiny bit faster than Yo-Yo, but Raptor hitting level 2 just has a free jump. He's just able to use it. XP trades, nothing too out of the ordinary, right? This is what you expect. Although we do see Eye of the Jungle being picked up on Yo-Yo. How do you feel about this?
I think it's fine. It's a nice item. He's going to be looking for some picks in the jungle quite frequently. It's going to keep him sustained, and it does give him a nice boost to his attack speed, which as Ao Kwang you really do want, especially when you're going into that Stone of Fall. You want to have that nice kind of early power spike so you can get the maximum usage out of that item, which if anyone doesn't know, it gives stacking damage mitigation, which is the absolute best form of defense in the entire game, right? It even reduces true damage, which is kind of insane. You've got a protection just this cheap that reduces true damage. It's not going to be much of a factor against Adelie, but that's just how strong Sona Fall is right now. It's got power, it's got prots, it's got damage mitigations. Being able to get that online quickly and utilize it in these early to mid team fights is going to make Yo-Yo very hard to kill. And when he has an execute on that ultimate, that can be a major problem for Adelie.
Yeah, it definitely will be, although Raging Panda Bear is looking for a bit of a gank, blinks in, Jeering's trying to escape, and I think he will not, as Raging Panda Bear picking up first blood, but Yo-Yo Tap Out responds saying that ain't happening, Chief, getting the kill on the enemy jungle. Great start for Yo-Yo, bit of a rougher start for Frost Pups, but Yo-Yo is going to be able just to respond by saying, hey, I'm going to take this totem, I can now go ahead and invade. Who's going to stop me? The Achilles at his speed? I mean, come on.
Yeah, honestly, even though Elias picks up that first blood bounty, I think this honestly might favor Frost Pups very slightly. Now, granted, they don't capitalize on as well as they should have, and now it looks like Yo-Yo might be in some danger.
Yeah, he might be in a slight amount of danger, but Raging Panda Bear opts to go for his farm. He knows that it's up, it's free farm. And I think Yo-Yo might have taken that Raging Panda Bear picking over to level 4. But Yo-Yo Tap Out is still in a good place. I mean, he has his full farm up. So, on the difference of Frost Pups, I still think Yo-Yo, if he does take his farm, is going to get a bit of an XP advantage.
Yeah, that was actually a very, very good play from Spin Sovereign there. Oh, hang on. What is happening to this 4-man rotation coming over?
Yeah, huge rotation. Raging Panda Bear making the rotation. Killjoy having the beads, although not level 5 quite yet. He's not going to be able to get that execute. Camazotz was taken, might be taken to the afterlife real soon here. And there he goes. Bacon Crumbs getting the kill.
Yeah, not enough word coverage for how pushed up the Frost Pups were there. And unfortunately, Raptor just wasn't able to make that rotation along with the other 2 members of Adelie. Notice his mana is very low. He did not have any rotation ability there at all. That's where your communication comes in handy, and that's where you got to have those wards placed down. If the Frost Pups want to play aggressive, that's fine. They have the team comp for it. But they also have to be playing smart. They've got to have that ward coverage down. They have to be able to spot out these rotations as they come through. The fact that Adelie gets 2 people over there for that 4-man collapse without being spotted, abysmal.
Yeah, I agree. But something that I've not been seeing all too much lately, but seeing a tiny bit of, is Sovereignty being picked up first item. Now, what's your opinion on this?
I think it's fine. There's been a general shift in the support meta from the Gauntlet of Thieves help your team items to a little bit more of a selfish build. Hang on, Killjoy has no bees getting plucked here. No follow-up just yet. But the Sovereignty is very powerful early on. It gives a lot of health sustain, but there's the blink coming through. Might have some action.
Yeah, we definitely are. Yo-Yo Tap Out is level 5. Beads used from Bacon Crumbs, and they can just get out of there. That is a worthwhile trade. I mean, I'll take, just, a blink from Ymir for beads on a Danzaburo? I mean, come on. It's easy pickings. And we are seeing Raging Panda Bear invading very, very smartly. He's an Achilles. He can press this. He knew that Yo-Yo was on the other side of the map, quite literally. So it was really easy, missing the freeze, and Be More Chaos is going to be able to get out of there.
Unlucky, but that's a really good response from Raging Panda Bear to invade that blue buff, because that definitely does favor Frost Pups if they're able to burn beads and invade that purple buff just off a single blink. Having that counter invade to put some pressure on the Frost Pups jungle is a very good move from Raging Panda Bear. That keeps them from really forming a lead and actually keeps Adelie slightly ahead. But hang on, what's happening over there? I see the ult come through, but not enough. The power of the Danzaburo rocket there, Panda.
Yeah, he was just riding on out of there, but Killjoy, he's 2 levels up. I mean, I don't think he cares. He just used his ult. He says, all right, well, there goes my ult. I got one in turn, and I am able to push up a wave. That's gonna, I believe that wave is gonna be gone for that Donzabro, so he's gonna have a wave advantage. Raging Panda Bear is spotted out, going for the gank, but Killjoy forcing the ultimate, and that dog still attached him. Raging Panda Bear's low, and Killjoy gets the kill.
The power of wards. And I mean, Killjoy spots Raging making that rotation over because he's got the ward coverage. And this is something that Killjoy is very, very good at. Finding a lead and then taking the one-on-ones and just winning in a one-on-one situation. You cannot fight Killjoy one-on-one, especially when he's level 8 to your level 6. It just does not work because when you're fighting a Scotty, it's not a one-on-one. It's a two-on-one. She's got Calder. She's got that extra source of damage that you have to be very aware of. Unfortunately, this kill for Frost Pups is just going to push them a little bit further ahead. They actually now have a very slight gold lead, which they didn't have before. Before, Adelie was doing a very good job of making up the difference despite the disparity in the dueling. They had those invades, they were farming well. Now that they've kind of given Killjoy a little bit more, Frost Pups are starting to take a very slight lead. It's small for now, but these things can build up.
Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, there's a reason why it's called a snowball, and what better gods to snowball on than the ice gods themselves? I mean, come on. It works.
And Camazot's getting a little aggressive there in the jungle, but he's not really looking for anything. You know, he's just trying to push them out, trying to keep an eye out, but he might have overstepped here, Panda Bear.
Yeah, I think he is getting pulled, stunned, but there might not be the follow-up as Yo-Yo's here, and they're gonna just link back into their side, and Camazotz gets out freely.
I was a little bit lazy from Be More Chaos, I would say. You know, he threw that stun out a little bit too soon. He stacked the stun on top of Bulver's Kepri pull, so you're not getting any extra advantage out of that. You're not locking them down for any additional time. It's just time he was already CC'd. So I think that's one of the reasons that Kama actually gets out of there is because he wasn't locked down for that additional time, so they weren't able to find that additional damage onto the Ymir, who, by the way, he's got his sovereignty online, as you mentioned, and he's also got that spellbound Kusari online. So he's not going down easily. You've got to make sure you are stacking your CC properly to elongate the time he can't do anything.
Yeah, you definitely do, and I believe that's a pause coming out, and a bit of an unfortunate time. I mean, they were looking at the Gold Fury, and that, I mean, let's just take a minute. You know, look at everything.
This is actually a very good position for Adelie's to be in right now. You know, they just put that damage out onto Kama, so they know he's about half health. He's not going to be in the best position to step forward and try to push them off this Fury. Now, Bane Crumbs, he is pretty low on the mana, but you don't have to have mana to just hold your left mouse button down and plug the shots into the Gold Fury. If they do this right, they can get this Fury pretty well.
They definitely can, but it's going to be a bit rough for them because not only does Bacon not have any mana, but everyone has ultimates on Frost Pups, and so does Adelie, so it just favors Killjoy 100% of the time. I mean, instead of focusing on the Fury, they now have to focus on Calder, get him down, and then go back to focusing on the Fury. So this overall is quite nice for Frost Pups also, but I definitely do agree. Adelie has the advantage, but it can very, very easily swing to Frost Pups.
One thing to consider is Be More Chaos as well. He's on his way up the mid lane right now, whereas Yo-Yo, he's DC'd. He's in Fountain right now. He's going to be a minute getting up there. If Be More rotates to this sphere right now, they can just have a Cthulhu here for Adelias. But I'm going to get back into game here and see what they decide to do. And it's not the Gold Fury. Instead, they're just shifting back to this mid lane here, Panda.
Yeah, that's an interesting play. It could have just been the lack of eyes on Yo-Yo, you know, making sure he isn't just on your near you at all. Great ward coverage covering the points of interest for the solo rotations now. Either if Jiring wants to make this rotation out of solo and into the Gold Fury, he has to make sure he's not stepping over that ward. He definitely is right now, as he gets spotted out by the full team of Adelies. Well, 3 of them. But he's just wrecking. Great wall yo-yo getting the kill. And there goes the Khepri. Well, it's just...
That was a beautiful wall coming out from Cam. That completely shut down anything they could do. Be more down, Bulver down. This is a free Gold Fury for the Frost Pups. And it did look like Jiring might have been the one in danger there. He was the one caught out, rotating. But the rest of Frost Pups being able to collapse so efficiently was just the perfect way to turn that on its head. Now they've got Jiring here for the zone. Sure, he doesn't have ultimate, but who needs it when you've got a 4-on-2, a 5-on-2, I'm sorry.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, what was Crumbs gonna do? Is he gonna ult in there? I mean, who's he gonna ult? He's gonna ult a full team. He's gonna get some beads down and he's gonna turn around and die. That's what's gonna happen every single time. And that zone from Jiring only made it harder. And as we're seeing right here, Bacon just not able to do anything, although Raging Panda Bear is able to do something. He misses the execute. Killjoy's in a favorable position right here, and Raging Panda dies. Killjoy might just get out here.
That's insane. But here comes Bulver. He's trying to finish the job. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but man, Killjoy... This is why you don't let him play Scotty, honestly. The man is absolutely cracked on. This is a comfort pick, and it shows 100% of the time. Being able to solo Bacon Crumbs out there was perfect. And then the turnaround onto Raging was excellent. You know, the juke, the backstep to avoid the Fatal Strike was exactly what he needed. It can be very easy when you're trying to escape to just run in a straight line. You have to keep that awareness about you so you can't just funnel into those abilities. Raging Panda Bear, though, at this deficit, yeah, Killjoy's half health, but he does have, you know, the leather cowl. He's got some lifesteal. He's got the pen from the mace. He's got the crusher online. I just think you don't take that one-on-one.
Yeah, I definitely don't think so. Although something you don't take is whatever that fight just right there. Camzos is taking going for the trying to kill Be More Chaos. But instead, you all know what he gets? He doesn't get the kill, but he gets the Kepriel and the Morganal.
Yeah, that is a massive win for the Frost Pups. 2 ults for 1. I take that trade any day of the week. They're trying to push the aggression, but it's not going to happen. The left side, though, they're trying to finally punish Killjoy here, but I don't know if even this is going to be enough.
Yeah, Killjoy does have beats.
Oh, that's enough.
Okay, it's enough. All right, I was like, maybe he can escape. He doesn't even expend beats. He says, all right, well, that doesn't hit me. And now Frostpup going for the punish. Yo-Yo is there. He's putting so much damage in, and he gets the execute. That's a 1-for-1. I mean, Killjoy is 3 levels up. He could die. Sure. What is Bacon going to do? Is he going to farm up with 3 people in his lane? Hell no. It's just Frost Pups using their knowledge, saying, okay, Killjoy can die there, but someone on the enemy team is going to die. And this lead is only growing. As you mentioned, it was small at the beginning. Now it's 4K gold, and Be More Chaos is doing the best they can. They're invading, but what's next?
But they're not going to be able to get it too effectively, I don't think, here.
Oh,
actually, they do get that. They do. That's a nice pickup for them. But, you know, what is the cost? You have to ask yourself.
Yeah, what's the cost? And it's not looking too good. Jiring doesn't have ultimate, but here comes Panda Bear behind. And, well, speaking of the ultimate, here it goes. Fatal Strike coming out, but it's just for escape. Kamazov is taken, takes another life. Well, their first one, but it wasn't their first rodeo in taking it.
No, Kama finally gets the kill he's been looking for most of this game now. But taking a quick shift over to these builds here, what I'm really surprised is that Yo-Yo has not opted for the Stone of Fall. I mean, he's gone the build, which is working for him right now. But the main reason you pick Al Quad right now is so that you can abuse the Stone of Fall. deciding not to go it is a little bit questionable to me. And it could be something that Adelie could look to punish, right? But hang on, there's a big rotation coming from Spin.
Spin Sovereign making the rotation, and so does Bacon Crumbs. That is a 3v4, and making it a 4v4 is Jeering Land. Raptor has 0 mana, and Adelie's gonna recognize that, hey, that's a Cthulhu. We're gonna have to go right under tower now.
It is all pressure for the Frost Pups, but I really feel like they don't have to stick around here for very much longer here. They've got this wave that they can push in. If Adelie tries to defend this, it's a mistake.
Yeah, they just let them have the tier 1. I mean, they're not going to push down the tier 2 because it's 15 minutes into the game. Killjoy is just, he's going to say, all right, hey, I've been playing this game for a bit. He knows his map macro really well, and good on him. So he says, let's take this tier 1, let's go right to Pyromancer. And Adelie is knowing that says, hey, they're trying to do this Pyromancer, let's go to Gold Fury, but it's not burning fast enough. Killjoy's here, but it may not be favorable. The Camazotz was taken, going in, blinking in, Spin Sovereign following. Adelie's saying, hey, we got to burn this fast, otherwise something's going to happen, and that very thing is happening. Frost Pups steal away the Primal Fury, and there's the Cthulhu coming out of Be More Chaos. Killjoy is quite low, and he might just fall there, but the Cthulhu ult of Frost Pups' own savior, Yo-Yo tap out, killing Raging Panda Bear, and Spin Sovereign is deep in the lines of Frost Pups, and it looks like it's going to be that single kill and disengage.
Excellent work from the Frost Pups, but Jarian's not done just yet. He's up done. In the middle of quite a few of them here. Slapping Be More Chaos, who was
Be More?
maybe DC'd.
Be More? Are you okay?
I like that decision from Jarian to stop attacking him. He stops the attack
good
before the pause.
He's like, hey, I'm not gonna take the free kill. That's mean. Why would you? That's just it's just unsportsmanlike. He recognizes, oh, they're DC. Come on.
Excellent work there from Jirian, but I don't know if you noticed or not at that Fury. The reason Killjoy almost dies there is that Kama did put up an unfortunate wall right in front of his face that kind of locked him in with some damage from Spin Sovereign as he used those beads, but good awareness from Kama to immediately cancel that, allow Killjoy to keep on running out of there. And Spin Sovereign, for his part, he was not giving that up very easily. He was on the hunt, trying to take at least one down with him, but Yo-Yo tap out with the excellent awareness, goes ahead, executes his target on Achilles, and instead of trying to look for more kills, he comes back to where Killjoy is with that dragon form. He comes back and just helps heal Spin Sovereign away with help of Camazotz. And that's the kind of teamwork that you need to see from the Frost Pups. That's looking really, really good from them right now. We need to see a little bit more of that from the Adelies. We saw some of it in those rotations, but it feels like once these team fights come around, it's starting to be like every man for himself. Spin Sovereign's trying to hunt down the backline and get those kills. Meanwhile, B-More is dying in a Cthulhu ult. It's just not working out the way they need it to right now.
Yeah, I think after this fight, they probably recognized it. They said, hey, something needs to change, and I'm not sure what is that change going to be. And we're going to hop right back in game in 2 and 1. Let's head right into it, as it's just Be More Chaos. He's back. He's looking to cause some more chaos. As we're still sitting here, and something that I noticed is that's a transcendence from Raptor. That's definitely not what I expected, especially since he went Crusher first item.
I think it's pretty standard to go the Transcendence on the Uller. It's been kind of a second item recently just because Crusher and Jotuns are so good in that first item slot. They're cheap, they offer a lot of power, their passives are very strong. It's not that hard to stack up the Transcendence in the mid lane. However, it does feel like Raptor has kind of fallen behind his farming. He's not been farming maybe as efficiently as he could be. He is, participating in these kills with those 4 assists, but not getting the credit does mean that he's not getting stacks for them either.
Okay. Oh, okay, good sportsmanship. They're just gonna say, hey, we're all gonna back. I'm just gonna call it. You just call it tie for now. Jeering, deciding, hey, I'm gonna stop the back at B more, just to be a troll. And they all back successfully. Just good sportsmanship. That's what we really look for in QSL.
Yeah, that's what we call the tactical DC. We're low, we're trying to get away, just DC and hope they don't kill us.
Yeah, that is exactly the plan.
Oh boy.
Bacon Crumbs ult, and he tries to ult the Killjoy, and well, Killjoy getting the kill, and Bacon Crumbs. I think he should have just escaped there.
Yeah, Bulver now gonna fall with the ultimate still available there. Kama off the mark with his wall there, but a little unfortunate. Maybe some miscommunication between Bulver and Bacon Crumbs because Bulver has the Kepri ult. He has the res.
Yeah.
I think maybe Bacon was going in with thinking that, okay, Bulver, put the Scared Blessing on me. I'll stun Killjoy and get the damage off, and then we'll just kill him or get the revive. Didn't work out that way, unfortunately. No res came through. Killjoy sidestepped the ultimate beautifully, did not get stunned at all, and so he just collided into a wall. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you take risks like that. At level 13 to 17, I think you just don't even try it.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's rough. It's rough. Since this game is chilled out, pun definitely intended. Frost Pups does have just the namesake advantage on their side, as we do see a fight break out, and Raptor falls to be more chaos. Camazotz is now just in enemy lines. It looks like he's gonna get that peel from the wall and Jeering.
That's the power of the Amir wall, but Jeering steps up quite a ways here. He's a pretty tanky guy, so he doesn't have to fear too much. I mean, just take a look at the build. Tyrannical Plate comes first, Breastplate. He's got the Oni Hunter Garb, so that's even more powerful, The mitigations you get from the Oni Hunters is massively impactful, but Spin Sovereign here with the rotation.
Yes, Spin Sovereign goes for the rotation, as does the Donza Photo going into the ult. There's the Cthulhu, Spin Sovereign falls. Jeering does have ult. He's not going to use it quite yet. There it goes. Bacon Crumbs falls. Yo-Yo tap out. Well, no, Bacon Crumbs does not fall. Now he does, as we see Yo-Yo tap out get 2 kills right there, and it's now Adelie's on the retreat. Be More Chaos getting the kill on Camazotz was taken, and it looks like Frost Pups are going to retreat.
This was a very good fight for Adelie's right now. I mean, they're even still going right now into this tier 1 tower, or tier 2.
Jeering stayed up just a tiny bit longer than I think Yo-Yo wanted him to, saying, hey, Jeering, come on, get out of here. Well, let's go. Yo-Yo and Jeering now are rotating as Bulver is leaving, and we could see Raptor look for something on that enemy red buff. He does indeed steal it away.
Yeah, I mean, that fight really should have gone better for the Frost Pups, I'd say. Yes, Killjoy goes down at the start, but he gets a pick from it at the start as well, right? He kills his target, expends his ultimate to kill Killjoy. And yeah, he gets the job done. That's a big advantage in the fight already. I think if Jeering just goes in there already in the Descent into Madness, they just hard win the fight. Taking the extra time, I think, to make that transformation, bought Adelie's a little bit of time to regroup. But still, Yo-Yo on this Alcon has been looking really strong. Stone of Fall or not. Executing one target, coming down on the other. Now it leaves the Frost Pups getting the Fire Giant on all 5 members. Looking very good for the Frost Pups.
Yeah, they get Pyromancer also. Adelie said, hey, we can't defend this, so let's go on Pyromancer. Not Pyromancer, Gold Fury. As it does fall, and it, well, alright. Frost Pups say, hey, we got Fire Giant and Pyromancer. What is that going to do for you? I mean, it's not going to give you any extra, it's not going to mitigate any leads because, well, Fire Giant and Pyromancer was taken. So, real unfortunate from the Adelies, and Frost Pups definitely just extending that lead as Killjoy does go in there, And, well, that should just be a tier 2. Bolivar is low, as not exactly low, but he's not looking too healthy.
The Fury was absolutely the right call for Adelie's. That was the right decision to make. However, like you said, it's not going to make their defense on these tier 2s any stronger. They're going to have to let these ones go. And I would expect to see all these tier 2s go down. Maybe Phoenix be pressured here, but I don't think they'll look too much for it here because Jiren and Cam have already taken some damage. Resetting is definitely the better, safer option here. Then they can just look to pressure the right lane, tier 2 down, then maybe look to pressure the Phoenixes after that. Get everything off the board, grow your lead as much as possible, and then you're just in a great position for the next fire giant. And you're the one that's really going to secure the game for them if they can get it.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's the thing. They have to get it in order to secure the game. That's as quite a few cast in the SPL like to say, that's a fire giant to set up for the next fire giant. You know, they aren't gonna do much with that fire giant besides just strip some tier 2s, maybe, and I heavy maybe on going for a Phoenix, but that is very unlikely considering we're we're a bit into it, and well, they just hammered down these tier 2s, so it's gonna be rough, but they are looking for a tier 2, and out of possession cheering is not gonna look nice, but B-More's low, and he goes up. Yo-Yo is quite unstoppable, and well, he's wreaking havoc, honestly. These fights are going so well for Frostpups just because of Yo-Yo saying, hey, I'm gonna be an Ao Kuang. As tier 2 does fall, they could honestly take a Phoenix now. It's a 4v5, and well, Phoenix being the quote-unquote extra man, that just makes it a 5v5. You know, it's not gonna be hard. This Phoenix, it falls. And it looks like Yo-Yo getting another kill on Bacon Crumbs. Dover's low. Spin Sovereign falls. Raging Panda Bear, he's not looking too healthy. And Derek's dead. Frostpups call for the end. And there's a D aside. Frostpups win the game. Just flat out 24 minutes.
Absolutely massive call from them. Yeah, Yo-Yo really opened that whole siege up by just finding Be More Chaos in the jungle there. Be More really need to be grouped up with his team. Being alone against an Ao Kuang is just not where you want to be ever at all. He did have the beads up, so maybe he shouldn't have been executed, but at that point, it was kind of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Once Be More goes down, the tier 2 defense was already flimsy, but it completely disappeared at that point. And once they have that 5-on-4 advantage with a Cthulhu ult still available, there's nothing stopping Frostpups from just going in and engaging on that Phoenix. There was no longer anything that Adelie could do. At that point, you can't really give the Phoenix up, but maybe you have to soft defense, sit a little bit further back. Don't just let the Frostpups walk straight into you and start wreaking havoc, because that's exactly what they did. Jiren got in there, Kama got in there, soaked up all the damage, and just allowed the rest of their backline damage to destroy the Phoenix and one by one pick off Adelie and open up the win.
Yeah, just easily. I mean, it was just they went in there and Cthulhu did Cthulhu things, and Yo-Yo just was able to get pick by pick. He played this Ao Kuang expertly. I mean, it has to be banned. If you don't ban it, they're gonna go right back to it. And
yeah, the Ao Kuang was definitely a little bit of a problem for them. 8-0, but I mean, take a look at the damage numbers real quick, right? Because now, granted, Ao Kuang doesn't have to do a lot of damage because he gets that 30% execute. He can do most of your health and then just execute you for free. But Killjoy with the 24,500 player damage, I mean, he outdamaged everyone else in the game. I think you could take any 3 people from Adelie, put them together, maybe except for Spin Sovereign, and Killjoy just outdamages them.
yeah, he quite literally does. I doing the minor math in my head. Killjoy and Jiren combined did more damage than did similar amount of damage to the entire game combined. Quite literally. Just
That's
what 38,000 damage coming out from two members? I mean, that's not something you see in 24 minutes. That just proved how great Killjoy did. I mean, that was, as we mentioned, it was his pick. Scuddy is his pick, and we're gonna head right to an intermission. So let's check it. Welcome back, everybody, to game 2 of Adelie's versus the one, the only Frost Pups. Of course, it is still yours truly, Panda Bear Ash, and the second greatest caster ever behind me. I'm lying, by the way. Not Killjoy. Spooky Mars.
So I'm third. I see how it is. I see how
No,
it
no, no.
is.
You're first.
Third.
I am nowhere near you. All right.
You're right there. You're right next to me.
Okay. All right. In the caster tier list. All right.
Oh, back into games. What also wasn't very close was game one here. I mean, it looked pretty good for the first 15, maybe 20 minutes, but once the first few objectives started falling down, I mean, actually it wasn't even 15 minutes. It was like 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah.
It was looking pretty good.
12 minutes. I was like, I think Frost Pups are taking.
But
Never want
after
to.
that, I mean, Frostburst, they just kind of got a snowball, and it all
Yeah.
came down to that duo lane, I would say. Killjoy having that massive lead on Scotty was a big problem for Adelie, but a bigger problem, I would say, was that Adelie, they didn't play around it very effectively, I would say. You know, a lot of times when you're dealing with a snowball happening in that duo side, you've got two options. You can mob him at once, or you just play through the other side of the map. Allies tried to kind of do both, but they kind of split it weird, right?
Yeah.
They would funnel into Killjoy one at a time, get killed one at a time, Frostbust win fights. Or they would try to kind of sort of play through the other side of the map, but not really dedicate the necessary resources to it. I would just like to see that cleaned up a little bit in game number 2 here. See them kind of focus up, not let Killjoy get so big in that dueling in the first place, and tighten up some of those other areas, because they did look very good in that early game.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I was thinking, oh, we're up for a 40-minute, 30-minute barn burner. And instead, I mean, it's just 24 minutes. Just because they played objectives, and it just the Cotty. It's the name. I'm calling it the Cotty now, and you can't stop me. Ever.
Why not? Killjoy, Scotty, it's Cotty. Why not?
Yeah, Scotty.
But also locked in here, Soul has been getting popular once again. You know, she's been fluctuating a lot
Yeah.
Season 8. She was down here, now she's up here, now she's down here. But it's all down to Stone to Fall. Once again, she uses it very well. This is a great look for their dual lane. Gives him a little bit more durability, a little bit more survivability. I think that'll go a long way in kind of shoring up some of the weaknesses of that dual lane. But right back to the Scotty goes Killjoy. Could be troublesome, especially with this Terra lock-in.
Yeah. So I think, off of these top 3 picks, this is the best top 3 you could imagine. Gilgamesh, Terra, Scotty. I mean, Killjoy looks insane on it, so put him right back on it. Terra, best support in the game ever.
It might be a solo pick.
Could be a solo pick also. Either or, she's still gonna blink 4 and Gilgamesh is gonna follow. So it doesn't matter. She's doing the same thing, and that's hurting you with her ultimate. As it's insane.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I almost prefer it in the solo. I've seen Jiren Lamb play it before, so I know it's in his pool. But like you said, if you can follow it up with the Gilgamesh, just have both of them dive, that's massive. But the Zeus is not what I expected here at all. Looks like Frost Pups are feeling very confident. As the old Scoose backline that Killjoy is very fond of. Whether Raptor is feeling good on this Zeus or not is another question, but if I'm facing Nike and Hunbots, Zeus is not the mid pick I'm looking for first.
Yeah, no, neither am I. I am like it goes any god with like a leap, any god with a dash. Well, first CC immunity, right? Leap, dash, Poseidon, every hunter, and then like Zeus at the bottom before Outwash.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Before Outwash. Well, I
but
don't know.
Zeus is
Actually,
actually
against this team, I might
against
put Upwash
yeah, I think I might. Yeah, I think I might put Upwash higher there. Like
because at
thinking
least he's
about
got
it,
the
yeah,
anti-heal, right?
yeah. Like at least
Against
the
Sylvanas
yeah,
and Soul, at least got the anti-heal on
yeah.
Upwash.
I think I put Upwash in front. I mean, I think like even like I think Zeus is the pick I would never do
But to be fair,
in
had a
against
good
this
game
comp.
one,
He's good
and
game one. So if he's
Frost
feeling
Pups,
confident,
they looked very good. Maybe this is just a comfort pick for Raptor.
yeah,
Maybe he feels better on this Zeus than he does on the Uller, and maybe that's what's going to get him through this game. Maybe he's going to have even bigger impact because mid lane as a
it was
whole
the Cotty.
wasn't super impactful in game
Yeah.
one. It was a lot of the solo. It was a lot of the side lanes going on.
Yeah. It was the Cotty all through and through. You cannot change my mind, and Bulver.
Overall, Sylvanas, I think it's a good switch up. Honestly, Sylvanas is actually very strong right now. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
The Mannequin Scepter, I'm not a big fan of. I don't think it's worth going, especially in a comp setting. Yes, you get a little bit of extra pressure in the first couple waves, but that falls off very rapidly, and this means you can't get something like a Compassion or a Sentinel's Gift to help the rest of your team out. Mannequins is a very selfish start, and it doesn't go very far into the game before it stops really being valuable, in my opinion. Now,
Yeah.
it does look like he's starting that Stone of Fall again, which does give a little bit more use to his basics, but still not enough, in my opinion, to warrant the mannequins.
Yeah, I don't think I ever warrant the mannequins in support. Like, I don't think I ever think to
Even
myself,
my
yeah, I don't care what you think, Spooky. I just don't think to myself, yeah, mannequins feels good here. And unless you're trying to go for like a 5-man mannequins and just make this the SML, then all right. But other than that, why I don't get it? But it could work out. I'm not gonna say it isn't. I just don't like it, and I don't think it will. But it can. It can work out.
Well, we're into the swing of things here. Soul is obviously going to have some pressure in this mid lane against Zeus. That's just the nature of her passive plus this mannequins. I expect to see the typical start coming out of her. Bancroft straight into the Stone of Fall, take the most advantages possible. But over here, it's seen a little bit of trouble as it's like Kama was getting aggressed on. But Bulver out of mana here is a little bit unusual. I can't help but wonder if maybe that has to do with, I don't know, the starter choice.
Yeah, it could. Because if you didn't know, what you usually go is Sentinel's Gift. And Sentinel's Gift has this really neat thing. Once minions die, you get health and mana back. Right. And it helps you be sustained, although Rapper might be needing that, as he's not being as sustained as he'd like to be, falling down low, but luckily he's saying, all right, well, I'm just gonna fall back. I'm not gonna go to my tier 1, and he's playing this really, really well.
Yeah, able to stay safe, but I'm sorry, but I gotta go back to Bulver on the mannequins, right? It's really just detrimental. The new passive gives him so much sustain with the help of those starter items. Like, he basically never has to leave lane between his passive seeds giving him decreased cooldowns and some extra mana, and now he's getting aggressed on. What's he gonna do about it? No mana.
Yeah, no mana. He has to retreat back to his flower, and guess what? He's able to do nothing in this lane besides help Crumbs clear purple buff, and it's going to be free pickings as soon as Killjoy gets 5, and if he's still in there. If he isn't, then I mean, what is he going to do? Is he going to go to mid? And well, he's a Sylvanas, so he can't escape a Zeus ult. So well play Zeus ult on him, kills him because he doesn't have any magical protections or health from mannequins. He's gonna have to hit if he gets Stone to Fall, which he should by the time he rotates over. Then it's going to be looking nice for him, but that requires him hitting autos on a Zeus who just placed an ult on you. So I don't see this going in favor of him.
What I will say is that the Mannequin Scepter does give him a little bit more pressure to clear waves, right? So this does allow him to maybe max the wisps a little bit easier, give that extra healing and bonus procs, but he's just taking so much damage right now that might not be a factor.
Yeah, he dies. First blood goes over to Killjoy. Just right there. Because it was just, he said, hey, I'm going to clear wave. Well, you have those AoE autos. And if your main focus is clearing wave, then you're not going to be much help. But Killjoy does look to solo out Bacon Crumbs. Although the mana situation forces him just to go back. Bacon Crumbs deciding, hey, let's go ahead and try and do something. Going for a fight, and he's just being kind of pressured out by a no-mana Scotty. That's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, falling a little bit low in mana himself there. So not able to keep up that fight. I think maybe if he saved his shot there, he could have pressured Killjoy a little bit more effectively. Dodged that first Icicle Spear that he throws out, then use that complete lack of mana to your advantage. As it is, though, he does have to reset. They're both going to come back still even, but Panda Bear in some danger.
Yeah. He wasn't looking too good. Raptor trying to kill him. As Be More Chaos just gets caught backing, and Yo-Yo saying, hey, I'm almost going to kill you. Forcing it to separate. He says, all right, Be More now has to wait. He's low. He's staying, oddly enough. Maybe that's because Yo-Yo has no mana, but Raptor does have an ultimate, and he shouldn't be afraid to use it. But someone who also has an ultimate is a Sylvanas, making Yo-Yo go up. Be More saying, hey, time to aggress, and, well, not much aggression. But I'd like to speak about the Sylvanas because we mentioned Stone of Fall, but you got Stone of Binding. What's your opinion on this pickup?
I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
Stone of Fall is so powerful right now, there's no reason to go Stone of Binding. Bacon Crumbs, spot there, but the Binding pickup doesn't make any sense to me. You've already got the Mannequin Scepter, so you're going for those basic attacks. Get the Stone of... It's such a disgusting item right now. We talked about it earlier, right? Three stacks of 3% mitigations, and then a max stacks, it doubles. You get so much mitigation off of this. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure why he went for the Stone of Binding, but I'm sure there must be a strategy there. Yeah,
maybe it's put damage on Zeus or something like that. Maybe maybe it might make Raptor's life harder. I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, it's interesting, although he does try and get a pick, and Kamazov was taken, kills Boulder right there, and that's just unfair. He was picked out, he doesn't have a dash or anything like that, and he falls for the second time in this game.
Be very careful about those things there. I mean, there's a lot of damage in this dual lane, Terra does have quite a bit of kill potential. Kills you on Viscotti, we already saw how much pressure he can bring. So you gotta be very careful where you're stepping, especially as someone like Sylvanas who doesn't have any movement abilities. Yes, he's got CC immunity, but it's only on his ultimate. And the only real movement ability he has is pulling people closer to him, which is not what you want in those situations.
Yeah, Killjoy has ult. Bacon forced to use it, looking to kill Killjoy. Killjoy says, yeah, I'm not going to be hit by Centaurus. And he calls it good. He's going to gain back some mana, looks to aggress on Bacon, calls Calder on him, and he just takes away his Scorpion, saying, hey, if you're just going to be scared of me, I'll call it good.
Bacon actually playing this a lot better than he did game one. He's still even on level. Maybe Killjoy has a very slight XP advantage, but Bacon's not falling behind right now. He hasn't died. Missing this wave might be a detriment to him. This is some odd back timing. But what I really think needs to happen is that Adelie just needs to make a rotation and punish Killjoy for being so pushed up. I mean, he's constantly playing very aggressively. He doesn't have wards down right now. This is the kind of thing you have to look to punish if you want your ADC to remain relevant.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be punished now. Like, you can't punish it later. Killjoy could get ahead.
Oh no!
Fear no evil dropped out, but the Terra responds with saying, bam, there's my wrath. Raging Panda Bear now has to look. There's the Zeus ultimate. Raptor getting a kill on Bulver for there's a third death. Bacon gets caught out by Killjoy using Killjoy's ult. He doesn't have Centaurus, so Killjoy getting a free kill, and they are looking at Gold Fury.
I mean, once the Fear No Evil whiffs like that, I don't think the Adelies can really go in anymore.
Yeah.
They do have some what's the word I'm looking for here at Fandom? They've got potential in the fights. Yeah. But they have to time their abilities right. They have to place their abilities correctly. And once the Terra counter ults, I mean, that's fine. You take that as a win. You can walk away from that feeling good. Yes, you whipped your bot's ult, but if you can make their Terra ult a whiff as well, fine. That's still fine. Choosing to fight into it, though, having Bulver step up so far and getting cut off completely is what really kind of lost them that fight. Bulver got completely cut off. Terra just pushed away the rest of the team. Raptor was able to pick up the free kill, straight to the Gold Fury, exactly how the Frost Pups should be playing it, already at a 4K lead.
Yeah, this is Frost Pups just stretching this out. I mean, it doesn't look that bad in dual lane, but in every other lane, it's 2 levels for Raptor. It's a level in support, and now it's a level in ADC. So XP is looking rough. It's half a level in solo, half a level in jungle. I mean, it's Frost Pups have these very, very minor leads to the point where it stretches this gold lead to its absolute maximum. 4K gold 10 minutes in, that is so much. I mean, it's you can't come back from that unless you get some sort of miracle, and this kill on Raptor could just be the miracle they need. But yo, Tap Out says, all right, you're going, Mr. Raging Panda Bear. Be more chaos, having to poke him out on this soul.
I think there was a little bit of a better opportunity for them to go in there. I mean, we saw Raging kind of lurking on that right-hand corner when Raptor was pushed up as the Zeus, right? No mobility, you've got the Fear No Evil available. Yo-Yo was not local just yet at that moment. Yeah. If Raging had gone in at that moment and B-More just went forward, I think they get that pick a lot more cleanly. As it is, they still get the pick, but they trade out, lives. They lose their jungler for their mid. It does get B-More Chaos, though, back up to level 10. He's now on level with Raptor. Just being able to farm is a big boon for Adelie. Question is, will they be able to turn it into a lead anywhere? Because already, it's starting to fall back in favor of Raptor. He's gone ahead and gotten a solo wave. He's going to go ahead and pick up his red buff now. These are all just sources of XP that he's getting before B-More. Yeah. And that's the problem right now.
Yeah, it really is. And what really hurts about that kill is B-More didn't get it. Yeah, that makes it hard for him to really stretch out a lead, because that was on Raging Panda Bear, and then Panda Bear goes and falls to Yo-Yo's ult and the remainder of the Zeus ult. I mean, it forces Adelie to go on the retreat. They have to play defensively, even though that pick almost should have made them play offensively.
Ash, this is a little irrelevant, but how much gold do you think Bulver has in hand right now? Because I swear, I've been looking at this tier 1 helm for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah, me too. I'm interested. I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's got 1,500 gold in hand. He needs to back and upgrade this, but now Frost Pups are aggressing on this Pyromancer. Could be trouble.
Yeah, they take it. The ult from Zeus was dropped. Bulver just stood in it. Yo-Yo getting the kill on Raging Panda Bear. Raptor's low. Bin Sovereign falls. Bulver falls. It's only B-More and Bacon standing, and that isn't gonna matter because B-More is being pressured by the Jeering Lamb, and there's a kill. Killjoy now pushing up this lane. Bacon having to back. That is a near deicide for the Frost Pups, all just because of a Pyromancer.
Yeah, so the thing about Pyromancer is it's not worth losing all your lives over. Yeah, it's nice if you can steal in a way. It's nice to put up some resistance there, but you've got to take into account like the leads as well, the deficits, and you definitely cannot just stand in the Zeus ult. We saw 2 people just standing in the Zeus ult, taking free damage. Then Yo-Yo comes in with his Shemesh ult. The Winds of Shemesh put down, instantly picks up a kill. It's lights out after that. There's no turning that fight around. Yeah, their health bars were low. It looked like a close fight for Adelie, but because they took so much damage from that lightning storm and then immediately grouped for Yo-Yo to just take out, they had no shot. Now, 8k gold lead going to this Primal Fury. There's just nothing Adelie can do at these objectives right now.
That grows to 9 damage, and there's a bit of a boon for this mannequin's pick, and that is just the funny visual of Sylvanas just leading in damage for his team. Okay, that changes. Damn, I am in ruins now. Sylvanas is no longer top damage. I
definitely think there's a correlation here, though, between his deaths and his damage. Because a lot of times he has been just up in the front, out of position. Here we go again. Bulma being aggressive on.
Yeah, he just gets killed mainly because he was out of position. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Like, sick, you hit a 4-man knock-up Wrath of Terra. Excellent. There's no follow-up. It shouldn't have come to that at all.
Yeah. I mean, what you also didn't have your team around. The closest one was Be More Chaos, just barely getting there, but after you die. I mean, what was the point of that? And Killjoy picking up a tier 2, Bacon Crumbs, he may have this advantage, but Killjoy's saying, hey, I'm just gonna go under tier 2, Be More Chaos, now having to look for the escape. Disapparate successful. He's gonna get clapped by those walls.
But we're at that point.
Yeah, that's just kind of mean. Like Kevin said, I put that out. I'm gonna use it. They do, and Killjoy getting the solo on Bacon Crumbs. That's rough. That he used his ultimate there, and that just confirms it. And he goes for a Phoenix. I mean, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna send over their team for a Phoenix that is nearly done? Here comes Sylvanas as the Wrath of Terra comes out.
My goodness.
And Bulver dies. That's okay. That's no fault of his own. He had alright positioning there. That was just the good old CC that is called slippery floor, I believe.
I believe that's called blinking into five people and using Wrath of Terra.
Okay, never cancel that. VVX. Yeah, that's.
I respect the effort.
Yeah,
I really do.
The effort's nice. Yeah.
You're looking at the siege, right? There's 5 people, and you're thinking, okay, I have to make a hero play. I have to save my Phoenix. You don't have to save the Phoenix, all right? You're not grouped up for it. There's a massive 11k difference in gold. You're level 9. You don't have the tankiness to frontline. You don't have the tankiness for the hero play. At that point, you have to wait for Spin Sovereign to be there. If Spin Sovereign's not there, then you unfortunately just don't get to frontline. Mm-hmm. You're too far down at this point, and the build he's going, it's nice when you're even. Yeah. It is very, very rough when you are behind. There's not a lot of health there. There's not a lot of tankiness. It's just not doing the job right now.
Yeah, it isn't. And that's unfortunate. As much as I ragged on it, I secretly had some hopes. I thought maybe it could work out. Stone of Binding, not the ideal choice, but I could see it working out. Lotus Crown, such a great item on Sylvanas. I mean, come on.
So great, it's been bought twice.
Yeah, so great. It's been bought twice, once on Terra, and there was the wrath of her as a kill gets out on Bacon Crumbs and Raptor. But they get killed. Spin Sovereign's low, Yo-Yo tap out looking for something. And Spin's like, hey, I've escaped. I'm not going to do much. And it seems Frostpups are not going to say, let's go for this Fire Giant. I mean, they still have Jeering's ultimate, which doesn't seem like a huge boon, but it is a pretty big boon. I mean, that execute on anyone's really, really nice. And then a Zeus ultimate for just pre-secure. I mean, they don't even need to use it because Adelaide knew they just couldn't defend that because, I mean, it's unlikely that Frost Pups end here. It's a 17-minute, 18-minute fire giant.
I don't know. Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know, but it's unlikely, and that's if I'm Adelie's, I'm willing to take that gamble. I'm willing to take the gamble of I don't think they end here. And
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking at the charts right now.
Looking
This
at the
is
charts.
massive lead.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think if they do get to these Phoenixes, they have a very real opportunity to end this game.
They do. But it comes down to there's the tier 1 in mid. That's 2 towers. I mean, they're gonna siege down this right tower.
They're going
for free.
for it.
Yeah, they're gonna get it free. Honestly. Maybe not. Looks like Frost Pups weren't all grouped up as a bit of miscommunication. Maybe Kamazats was screaming at their team saying, let's get on the darn tier 1. Let's knock down these towers first. Because
no shot. If I know anything about Kama, he's screaming, end the game, end the game, end the game.
all right, you're probably right, but come on.
But no, I mean, the tier 1 is definitely the right choice. It's the smarter, safer play. Makes those Phoenixes easier to take. It's definitely the right call to do those first. Gold Fury feels a little unnecessary. I think they could just switch over to these Phoenixes. But I think this is all about getting the lead bigger and then resetting to really use the lead. Because some of this lead, you take at their golden hand, their net worth, hasn't been used yet. The golden hand doesn't count towards your lead until you go back and you spend it.
Yeah, that's 3.2k for Killjoy. Now, Jeering just spends it on a Frostbound hammer.
I mean, he doesn't want anyone getting away from him.
Yeah, he's saying that people are. Yeah, he's saying, people are not gonna get away from me. All right.
I mean, we talked about the Zeus as well. We had our concerns, but 4-1-6 now. He's been able to stay very safe with help of Kama.
He looks better. I mean,
he's looking really good right now.
Yeah, he looks better on this Zeus than he did on the Olar, and I honestly didn't expect it, but I am glad because it was the right pick. Because of Raptor. Now, if it wasn't Raptor, I still would disagree on the pick. But because it was Raptor, he proved me wrong. I'll say it. He proved me wrong, and he looks really good. Good job. Kudos. But it's gonna be harder for them to take a fight outside of Phoenix. Boulder falls as it's just been Sovereign, and I don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, that's a 1v5 Centaurus used. And he's an execute threshold, Spin Sovereign falls, Raptor getting a kill, Killjoy getting a kill, and they're just getting the end. I mean...
That was half his health!
Yeah, that was half of his health there. And Raptor getting another kill. There's the double. There's a deicide. The game ends even shorter. 21 seconds. 21 minutes and 8 seconds. Where's our heart?
I mean, that was just a very sloppy defense from Adelie's, unfortunately. You can see that B-More is trying to get some pressure in that mid to prepare for the siege, right? He's trying to trade off that tier 1 tower for their time on the left side.
Yeah.
If you know that's happening, you can't jump into the 5 of them if you're spin side. You have to wait for your team to be reset. You have to wait for them to be under that Phoenix. Taking the fight outside the Phoenix, it's a sure way to lose the fight. There's just no way you can confirm all your damage. There's no extra damage coming from the Phoenix. It wasn't even an EFG that Frost Pups had, so it wasn't going to have that backdoor protection reduction. It wasn't going to have the extra structure damage. That was just very rushed, and unfortunately, Frost Pups really made Adelie pay for it.
Yeah, they really did. And that just comes down to just the lead. I mean, it wasn't really anything else. It was they had such a large lead that even if you try, there was a 100% fact that Adelais needed to take that fight under Phoenix because if they didn't, just Frost Pups win it 100% of the time, and it just insane. Good recognition by Frost Pups saying, hey, there's a person, let's just ignore him because we don't need to kill him. What is Spin Sovereign going to do to us? I mean, he's 5 levels. He's what, 2 levels behind most of them. 5 levels at most. I mean, he's not going to do much. He's a, a lot of gold behind, so it's just Frostpunk's recognizing this. They say, let's take the Phoenix. Let's go ahead and take the fight. And they do both those things, and they win the game. That's just, it's insane to me.
Very unlucky on that because Bulver was actually the first to fall, despite Spin jumping in at the start. Bulver was erased out of the tier 1, and we saw exactly how that happened when Killjoy engaged B-More. His health was just gone in a single ability. I mean, that's the lead that we're talking about, right? That's the, what, 20k gold difference at that point, maybe? The massive XP difference, that's the Fire Giant. When it's at that point, you've got to make sure you're grouped and playing together. Again, their early game had signs of life. Bacon Crumbs had a much better look this game, right? He looked very good in the lane. Yes, he was losing pressure, but he wasn't falling behind until the team fight started happening. Killjoy was able to find him in some of those, and that's what contributed to that lead. Overall, Adelie definitely has some potential, but they have to smooth out their early game and get that to continue into the mid to late game as well.
Yeah, they really do. Frost Pups looked insanely strong here. I honestly think it goes to 2 reasons. One, Yo-Yo just having both insane games on a carry pick and on a facilitator pick, and then the Scotty. I mean, Killjoy on this Scotty, it spanned out. After this, I think like it's a league-wide handshake of Scotty gets banned out from Killjoy. Just
Definitely, man.
no matter
I'm
what.
not letting him back on. I'm never gonna let Killjoy play Scotty at this point. I mean, that was just way too much. They had really good synergy in that dual lane with Kama, and honestly, Yo-Yo didn't even have to make any rotations into it.
Yeah, he did.
Killjoy just farmed, won trades, and then started doing stuff in the team fight. So that's all you really need your ADC to do.
Yeah. That's just he just did what he needed to do, just expertly, and good job on him. You know, he knew he couldn't just, yeah. Let's go ahead and take it to a quick break so we can get set for our interview coming up with someone from the Frost Pups. Welcome back, everybody. After a very, very short intermission, we do have our interviewee, and it is the man, the myth, the legend, Killjoy. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. I'm excited, man. It was a good tour.
So Killjoy, congratulations on your win, first of all. How does it feel being in the QSL? I believe this is your first season?
Yeah, this is my first season. I actually wasn't expecting to be drafted, to be honest with you. You were the kind enough to be like, hey, you want to do a cast with me? So I joined you to do a cast, and then the next day I got pinged by Jerry and was like, hey, you're on my team. And I'm like, oh, cool. What league? Because I did not expect to be drafted at all, right? Because I didn't play any prospects. Like I was a day before the draft, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just a no name, right? Just a no name coming in. Jerry knew who I was. It's like, yeah, I don't know how you got this far down. Well, I'll take you when you're here. And I got to play my famed Scotty for a lot of people that do know me, so I was happy.
And it had quite the showing between two games. Was there any hesitance from your team to allow you to play the Scotty in game one?
No, they didn't really get a choice because going into the game tonight, we actually had a scrim the other day, and going into that, I said, "Yeah, I'm playing Scotty one of these games," and they're like, "Okay," and I played it game one, and then I played Ula game two, and then tonight I was going, I'm like, "I'm playing Scotty again," just like full disclosure, and I'm probably not playing it, and they're like, "Okay, whatever." In game two, I'm like, "Okay, how do you guys feel about the Scoose?" And they're like, "The what?" And I said, "The Scotty Zeus," because me and Peaceful Mind have a podcast. We played a lot of games together. We Scotty Zeus a lot. And they're like, I don't know. Raptors like I'm 4-0 on like we're 3-0 on most opening days. Give him the 4-0 today, which is really awesome for him. So shout out to my boy Raptor for also just locking in the Zeus when I asked him to. So I like the team. They're a bunch of fun guys that listen and want to play well and have fun.
I'm glad you brought up the skews because that was actually going to be my next topic there. I knew you were a big fan of it.
Yep.
Was this something you guys talked about beforehand? I guess not.
Not at all. Not at all. I was like, okay, so going to this game, you guys want to do Scoose? And they're like, I guess. So I was like, okay, here's the draft. And I literally picked every single one of these gods for us, minus the Achilles, because it's kind of just like jeering, play whatever you want in solo lane. Because, I mean, Cthulhu would have been nice, but they banned that. Odin would have been sick, but they were first picks, so I didn't really want to give them that anyway. And he's like, I want to go Achilles. I'm like, that works. That fits in nicely with what we want to do. You can just go run the back line. And we have a bunch of big circles to add on top of a Scotty ult and a Zeus ult, and it kind of just played itself, honestly.
You guys, as a whole, looked very strong throughout both games. It looked like you guys had a lot of just good macro play, good control of the map. You mentioned you've only been here for a short time. Have you guys been getting practice in a lot, or was this just something you guys kind of had good synergy with?
It's kind of like a plug and play team right now. Jurian does a little bit of shot calling. I kind of talk quite a bit just since like it's kind of what I do. Cam and I have played together before, played against each other. Jurian and I have played against each other because we kind of know how we like play as a like individuals. So we kind of meshed already. I know the rest of the team besides me and Cam play pretty consistently. So our mid 3v3 minus Cam and Jurian are like always queued up together. So they're always playing a lot and have good synergy. And then and Cam are pretty easy to plug and play into that roster just since we're the duo lane.
Now, after taking what I'd say is a very dominant 2-0 victory in the first week, first game, even, what's next? Are you looking forward to facing any of these teams? Any teams you might be apprehensive of, or are you just here for a good time?
I'm here for a good time. I'm not gonna lie to you, Spooky. I didn't know what team I got drafted to or names of any of the teams. Like going into tonight, they were like, "Oh, we're scrimming so and so team." I'm like, I don't know who that is. Like, just tell me the players. Like, I just kind of get the player rundown before, and I don't know any team names because like how like new I am here. So I was like, I need to take a day and just kind of look through it all and really familiarize myself with it because I'm excited. It's a cool league. I'm very excited to play here.
We're excited to have you, Killjoy. Congratulations again on your win. Thank you for joining us. That'll be it from me, Spooky. I'm going to hand you guys back to Mr. Panda Bear. Miss Panda Bear, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's fine. Killjoy, I have one last question I have for you. That is, do you have any shout outs besides, of course, good old Repto?
Yeah, I love to shout out my team, shout out the other team too. I know it's opening night. Everyone's got kinks to work out. They're going to be a strong team, man. They look pretty good. I hope no one sleeps on them just because they have one bad game. They're gonna be pretty good. Shout out to my team for kind of letting me do what I want and play Scotty when I ask, and for listening and trusting me. And shout out to Kamazats for having his two bug out and not being able to clap anything. So it was a fun game. But yeah, GG's to everyone.
Yeah, that is going to be it for us. It has been Panda Bear Ash, and it has been Spooky Mars. It was Frost Pups taking the game over Adelie's 2-0. We will see you all next time.